So I've been doing this whole entrepreneurship thing for like 2 years now. And honestly, it's pretty hard. But now that I'm on my third business, I guess you could say, I am starting to get the hang of things. I'm starting to make money. And, I'm not rich by any means, but things are starting to move forward. And looking back, I would say there was probably just one thing that was responsible for like 90% of my progress. And I honestly wish I did a lot more of it. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, my name is Ryan, and I'm just using this channel to document my journey to financial freedom, to all that fun stuff, being rich. And I'm just going to share all my lessons along the way. So as a new entrepreneur, you don't really have a lot of things going on, right? You don't have clients or customers. You don't have people or like a team to manage, and you don't really have that many costs, right? You don't really have any running costs. And so really the most crucial advantage you have when you're just a beginner is time. Like, you're not really doing anything else, right? Except playing video games and jerking off. And the number one thing you can do with that time is get more volume. And so really this just means, get more reps in, get more experience, and build your knowledge and expertise. And this also means, put more offers out, get more feedback, and just learn how shit you really are. And this is really important because as a beginner, you really have nothing. Like I said earlier, you have no knowledge, you have no experience, you have no money, you have no team, you have no resources, right? And if you have nothing, if you're starting from scratch, then the only thing you can do is to get more data, put offers into the market, learn more, read more, expose yourself to your business, to the service that you're trying to offer, and just try to build yourself up from 0 to 0.1. And that takes a lot more effort than you would think. And kind of on the point of learning, you want to make sure you spend enough time on this, right? I see a lot of the time, a lot of business advice out there. It's take action, take action, take action. There's a book literally called Ready, Fire, Aim. And, I really do like the messaging behind those ideas. You should, not get stuck in analysis paralysis. You should not sit on your ass and wait for, the perfect time to start your business. But for the most part, on the other end of the spectrum, there's also people that just start doing stuff. They start doing drop shipping, they start a YouTube channel, and they don't really know what the fuck they're doing, right? They have no knowledge, they have no expertise, they have nothing really to offer the world, to offer their target customer. And really, what's the point? You're just wasting time, you're wasting energy, and you're doing no good for yourself or for the people you're trying to serve. And so for the beginners out there, really spend some time, at least a few months, just learning about business, learn about your service, right? Learn about what you're trying to do, what you're trying to provide, and figure stuff out before you start trying to actually ask people for money. Because obviously a lot of people get into this game and they try to just make money, which makes sense, right? Not going to say that's a bad thing, but they try to jump straight to the money making part, but realizing what it actually takes to make money. And a lot of the time, you don't really understand these mistakes you're making until you've put in the number of reps that allow you to make those mistakes. And that allows you to get the feedback and realize that you're doing something wrong with your actions, with your strategy, with whatever. And so when I say, get a lot of volume in, part of that is, watching a lot of YouTube videos, listen to a lot of podcasts, read a lot of books. And until you have some basic understanding of really what the fuck business is, what money is, you shouldn't be making offers, doing outreach, or testing products on dropshipping stores. And the second problem with volume is that people just really don't do enough of it, right? Whatever you think you need to do every single day, if you want to succeed in, let's say 2 to 3 to 5 years, take whatever you're doing, take whatever you think you need to be doing, and multiply that by at least 2 to 3 times. That is probably just barely enough to really get you to where you want in the time frame that you want. Most people try to put in half an hour to an hour of work every single day, which will probably get them somewhere. I'm not saying you have to work 12-hour days. You can do whatever you want with your life. But if you're only going to put in 1 to 2 hours a day or 2 to 3 hours a day, if you're comparing that to someone who's putting in 6 to 7 to 8 hours a day in their business, you can't expect yourself to succeed in the same amount of time as that other person. You should expect yourself to take at least 2, 3, 4 times longer if you're going to put in 2 to 3, 4 times less work than the guy who's busting his ass off. Because the thing is, no matter how talented you are, no matter how smart you are, unless you're a fucking genius, which I'm not, which you're not probably, your brain still takes time to really process new information, to process a new lifestyle, to process a new world. Because when you start business for the first time, when you're just a normal dude like me who went through school, graduated, went to do a full-time job for a few years, you're basically just an average dude compared to entrepreneurs. For those types of people like us, you're really trying to live a new life. You're trying to become a different person when you try to become an entrepreneur. And this takes time, right? It takes time to adjust to a new lifestyle. It takes time to become a new person. It takes time to literally change your life. And so even if you're putting 5 to 6 hour days, you have to give yourself time. You can't expect crazy results to happen in 1 to 2 months. I mean, you might get lucky, right? You might pick a really good product for a dropshipping store. It might blow up. You might make 20, 30K, but it's going to be kind of hard to replicate it again unless you really know what you're doing or you just have a really good sense for that type of business, which again, most people don't when they're just starting out. But with that in mind, if all you commit to doing is spending more time on something every single day and doing that thing for a longer period of time, then you basically automatically increase your chances of success without really doing anything crazy. You're just doing something longer, either throughout the day or throughout the year, multiple years, and you're probably gonna do better than the guy who, grinded for like 1 to 2 hours a day, and did that for like a month and said, nah, can't do it. It's not for me. Business is too hard. Dropshipping is a scam. Business is a scam. Life's a scam. You're a scam. And this has played out in pretty much every single endeavor that I've gone through in my life. Like I started dropshipping back in like mid 2020, and I did a lot of product research, right? I spent like 3 to 4 hours a day, literally scrolling through AliExpress, scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through whatever, God knows what social media platform, TikTok now, and just trying to find products that work. I would take that product, throw it onto Shopify, build some ads for it, write some website copy for it, throw up the ads, spend money, and I would do this over and over again. And I think people recommend you test like several products a week now. I honestly didn't have that kind of bandwidth. I don't know how people do it, but like if you want to make this work, then you need to test more products, right? That's basically all dropshipping is until you find something that works. The thing is, I actually did find some success, right? Like I actually had a few stores that made like a few thousand a month. One store did like 30, 40K a month at one point. But the thing is, I would never have gotten to that point if I didn't have like the dozens of products I tested in the year before that. If I didn't have all those failures, if I didn't have the data to know that I was doing something wrong or that I was doing something right, then I never would have gotten to a point where I could say, oh yeah, this is working because of these things I learned from those 20 other products that I tested or those 50 other products that I tested. And the same goes for YouTube, right? Like if you look at my channel, look at the very first video that I posted compared to the last few that I posted, obviously the quality and kind of the way I talk to you on screen is a little bit better compared to the very beginning. That's because I actually created the videos. It's because I actually put in the time, I put in the effort, and I just patiently waited, got the feedback from the market, got the feedback from myself when I saw how good or how bad my product was, and I tweaked it. If you don't put those reps in, if you don't put in the volume, if you don't really get that feedback from the market, if you don't put out offers and like learn what's working and what's not working, then you can't really improve, right? You can't even tell whether you're succeeding or not because you just don't have enough data. You don't have enough experience. Then you just haven't given yourself enough time to really get good. Like you're not supposed to succeed without any expertise. You're not supposed to succeed without any like competence. Competence takes time to build up. And this goes for sports, this goes for school, this goes for your career, and of course it applies for business. So what should you do if you're a complete beginner? Like where should you even start? Let's say, you're like fucking Ryan from 3 years ago. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You have no experience, no talents, no skills. You've been fucking playing video games for 8 hours a day and you don't really have anything going for you, right? Let's say you're that guy, which is me as well. If you're a complete beginner, the only thing you should be doing right now is to commit to doing something every single day. It doesn't have to be like building a business, it doesn't have to be the most efficient thing. Just commit to doing something that moves the needle either for yourself, your health, your business, something every single day. Like don't miss a single day. It doesn't have to be like 5 hours, 12 hours, just maybe half an hour, 20 minutes, even an hour is good enough. The most important thing is that you need to learn how to put in volume either through intensity or through consistency over a long period of time. Like at this point, just do something. So you can be reading, you can be exercising, you can do work on your business, or you can do outreach, you can test products, but just do anything that moves the needle forward for your life. So once you have some consistency, just doing something every single day, then you can start looking to do the right thing every single day. So these are the things that, if you could do nothing else but one thing, you would still make progress towards your goals. So these are the things like, testing products for e-commerce stores, doing outreach for clients. If you're building a YouTube channel, then actually posting videos. And these are just things I've done, right? I'm just talking about what I know, but let's say you're building like a SaaS company, then actually like writing code every single day. Or if you're trying to get jacked at the gym, then yeah, go work out every single day or do some type of exercise every single day. And now the next step, once you're able to do the most important things every single day that actually move the needle for your life or for your business, then you can start looking to improve the thing that you're doing. Try to get better results with your outreach. Try to test products in a more efficient manner that have a higher success rate. Try to put out better quality videos or get better at writing code. Try to improve the thing that you're doing every single day so that you actually make the best use of that time and effort. Finally, once you're doing the right things, once you're constantly improving on the right things and you actually see results and progress, then you can start building systems, start hiring people, start, paying for software that automates some of your work. But honestly, if you're a beginner watching this, you don't need to worry about that. You should probably still be worrying about step 1 and 2 only. Start doing something productive every day and then start focusing on doing things that actually move you towards your goal, that actually generate revenue for your business or make you healthier or whatever. And before you wrap up, starting a business is like pretty hard, right? Like it's not supposed to be easy. Of course, there are ways to make it easier. But the thing is, when you have no money, no expertise, no case studies, all you really have is your time and effort. Think of it as like pouring cement for your foundation. Like it's gonna be boring. It's gonna take a long time. It's like, you know, freaking One Punch Man, right? Where you do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 10-kilometer run every single day for years until you go bald. You kind of have to do that for a solid amount of time before you can really start, you know, actually like the in the anime. I don't know if you know that anime, but like the same applies for really anything, right? For athletes, like I was a student athlete for years, and I didn't get good. I didn't get to like a competitive level in like 1 to 2 years. I spent like 8 to 10 years before people were like, oh shit, like this Ryan guy's pretty good. Like he can actually like win games and shit. It took me 10 years to get to that point, right? And it took Saitama from the anime One Punch Man to like, I don't know how many years to go bald and become like some overpowered superhero, but it takes time. Like if you haven't done the 100 push-ups, sit-ups, squats, whatever for however many years, you can't expect to be a fucking superhero in like 3 months. It's just not gonna happen. If you haven't poured the cement for your foundation to build a house, your house is gonna collapse when you try to build it, right? If you try to just build on top of some dirt, I mean, you might keep it up for like a day or two or a few years, but it's gonna collapse because you didn't put in the time to actually build the house properly. And the same applies to business. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you have no skills, if you have nothing, if you're a fucking loser, like I was, spend some time to not be a loser before you actually try to become a winner, right? It takes time to make that transition. You need to put in the reps before you can even like start playing the game. And if you can understand that, then I think you'll be okay. If you found this helpful and you want to see more SMMA content, like, subscribe, you know, do all that stuff. See you in the next video.